And now, the general weather around Alaska.
All right, today's satellite imagery showing here, front had moved northward here early on through this position, really weakening as it moves northward and inland, and the front having already passed the southeast coast here. More moisture flowing northward with another system down here to the south that's actually going to track eastward toward the Queen Charlotte Islands. And we got low pressure spinning here along the southwest coast, and that keeping a kind of a widespread area of light snow and clouds here through this area all the way up to the Kotzebue Sound area, and then maybe some light snow with the remnants of that front here over the eastern interior. And then a low pressure area south of the western Aleutians, kind of elongated front along that, weakening as it tries to push eastward. Today, there's that low center there just south of the western Aleutians, bringing some rain and breezy conditions to that area, mostly about Adak westward. And then some light snow here covering much of the northern Bering Sea, St. Lawrence Island. More of a scattered snow shower condition for the Pribilof Islands and into the Yukon Delta, areas of the west coast here all the way up to the northwest coast. And this trough bringing some light snow to the eastern Arctic coast into the Brooks Range area. Fair, though, here in the interior, again, with a lot of cloudiness, especially on the east side there, mid and high-level clouds. And rain with southeast flow here continues to pull northwestward out of the Gulf of Alaska, keeping it wet along the North Gulf Coast here, otherwise drying out over the Panhandle today. And for the forecast for tonight, another system pushes, or that system down here tracks northeastward here. And the front, not all that strong, brings some rain, increased rain over the southern Panhandle. It stays dry in the north. Dry for the North Gulf Coast for a change, at least east of Prince William Sound. Still some light rain or showers here for the Sound down along the southern coast of the Kenai Peninsula, southern Cook Inlet. Mixed precipitation there up toward the Alaska Range that extends into the southern Kuskokwim Valley. But that very light, really a quiet night coming up for much of interior Alaska. Actually, the Alaska Peninsula as well. And some rain there for Adak out toward about Kiska Island with that front. Next system down here, much stronger than the previous ones. That brings an increased rain and wind here to the eastern Aleutians, actually about Atka Island into the Alaska Peninsula during the day tomorrow. Break to the north there with light wind conditions and dry weather. And this low still along the southwest coast keeps areas of light snow and snow shower associated with it, mostly on the west side here. Fair in the interior, not too bad for the Arctic coast. Still a chance of snow in the eastern Brooks Range. Again, this low tracking in toward the Queen Charlotte Islands. Close enough, bringing occasional light rain to the southern Panhandle, but drier to the north. Then we'll see for the day on Sunday, this storm system tracks northward there with the low center moving up to somewhere between Unalaska Island and the western Alaska Peninsula, roughly in about this position. But you got strong north winds on the backside of that low, a widespread area of south and southeast winds, head of the front east or northeast winds. But a lot of moisture flowing northward, so look for snow to spread northward here. Northern Kuskokwim Delta, Yukon Delta up in toward eastern Norton Sound during the day on Sunday with blowing snow developing in these areas. Strong gale force winds here in advance of this front for Kodiak Island into the Kamishak Bay area and along the Kenai Peninsula with increasing rain, mostly southern Cook Inlet, southern Kenai Peninsula into Prince William Sound. To the north here, dry over the interior. Look for increasing winds along the Alaska Range there, but dry conditions, not too bad all the way up to the Arctic coast. And for the southeast coast, about the same thing. High pressure here over western Canada makes for a mostly dry day, just some isolated lingering showers possible. And that's about it for the southeast coast. Lows tonight down that way in the 30s to lower 40s, still pretty mild there. Otherwise, teens and 20s here over interior Alaska with the below zero conditions from the Brooks Range out to the Arctic coast, but not all that far, anywhere from 0 to 10 below. Teens for the Seward Peninsula, 20s for the Pribilofs, lower 30s for the Aleutians. Highs tomorrow above 0 there, or 0 to 10 for the North Slope, Arctic coast, Brooks Range area. Otherwise in the teens and 20s over the interior with 20s out to the southwest coast, mid-20s near freezing for the Pribilofs, mid to upper 30s for the Aleutians, but near 40 there for Unalaska. And upper 30s Kodiak Island, lower to mid 30s here south central Alaska, upper 30s to upper 40s warmest down toward Prince of Wales Island. And for the lows on Sunday morning, about the same here, below zero from the Brooks Range of the Arctic coast. This is 5 below to 10 above there for the eastern interior, excuse me, down into the Copper River Basin, with lows in the mid to upper 20s, south central Alaska, mid 30s from about Homer down to Kodiak Island, and lows in the upper 20s, lower 30s, northern Panhandle, closer to 40 down to the south, and out in the Aleutians, lower to mid 30s. Highs near 40 for Shimya. Moving eastward here, looking at mid 40s for Kodiak Island, lower 40s, southern Cook Inlet, near 40 for Seward. Otherwise, mostly back above freezing here, much of south central Alaska, with highs in the lower 20s for the Copper River Basin. Still chilliest up to the north, but mostly above zero all the way out to the Arctic coast. And Sunday afternoon, looking at highs in the upper teens up Lynn Canal toward Haines and Skagway. Otherwise, mid 30s down toward the south.